You are considering the Alpine UTE-73BT car stereo. It has a high rating and promises to modernize your dashboard. But before you spend your money, you need to know the serious problems I found, problems most reviews will not tell you about. I installed this unit, tested every feature, and I will reveal the frustrating truths that could make you regret this purchase. For the best price, click the link in the description. We see a sleek head unit, we see compatibility lists, and we think it's a no-brainer upgrade. But here's what surprised me. This unit is a masterclass in missed opportunities and dated technology hiding behind a famous brand name. Therefore, if you are looking for a seamless, modern experience, you might be in for a shock. Let's dive into the 3 biggest problems that make me say, maybe you shouldn't buy it. First, let's talk setup. Unboxing feels good. Alpine packaging has a certain heft. The unit itself looks clean, if a bit conservative. Installation is standard for a single DIN, but this is where the first hiccup happens. The wiring harness. It's comprehensive. If you are not a professional, or at least very confident, you will be staring at a rainbow of wires that looks less like an electronics project, and more like a plate of spaghetti that learned how to conduct electricity. I felt like I needed a decoder ring just to figure out which wire was for the existential dread of forgetting your phone charger. But let's assume you get it wired, or you pay someone to do it. You power it on. The display. This is problem 1, the user interface. It feels like it was designed in 2005 and never updated. The fonts are blocky, the menus are clunky, and navigating feels like you're using a trackball on a computer from the Cold War era. In a world of smartphone-smooth interfaces, this is a jarring step back. It's functional, sure, but it is not enjoyable. Therefore, your first interaction is one of slight disappointment, which is not what you want from a brand like Alpine. Now the main event, Bluetooth connectivity. This is the BT in UTE-73BT, the flagship feature. And here lies problem 2. The Bluetooth is frustratingly inconsistent. Pairing is straightforward, I'll give it that. But the connection stability, it's a mood. Some days it connects instantly when you start the car. Other days it stares blankly at your phone like it's never met it before. I had more dropped connections in a week than a teenager with bad reception at a summer camp. And the audio streaming quality over 880p is just okay. It gets the job done, but for a unit at this price point, I expected richer, more stable performance. It's not a deal-breaker alone, but it's a persistent annoyance. This leads us to the audio itself. Alpine is an audio company, so the amplifier section and sound processing should be stellar, right? Here's the twist. The sound quality from the internal amp is clean and powerful for a head unit. It's actually quite good. But, and this is a huge but, to unlock that Alpine quality sound, you need to dive into an EQ and settings menu that is so daunting it might as well be written in ancient runes. The preset EQs are generic and unimpressive. Therefore, casual users will never tap into the real potential, and audiophiles will be frustrated by the clumsy tuning tools. It's like having a sports car that only lets you adjust the suspension with a wrench you don't own. Let's talk about the other big selling point, USB and smartphone compatibility. It says made for iPod and iPhone and Android AOA. This is problem 3. It's a compatibility minefield. With my iPhone, using the USB connection for direct control was smooth. Music library browsing on the unit screen worked. But try to use Android AOA 2.0. Good luck. Support is spotty across different phone models and Android versions. For many modern Android phones, AOA is an afterthought, so you're forced back to that finicky Bluetooth. And playing audio files via USB flash drive. FLAC, MP3, it reads them. But the folder navigation is so slow and archaic, it made me want to go back to sorting CDs in a binder. And that's saying something. The unit feels like it's bridging 2 eras and doing neither perfectly. Remember the promise of Pandora control. If you are one of the 7 people who still use Pandora natively, it works. But for Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, You are back to basic Bluetooth audio control. Play, pause, skip. No on-screen metadata, no browsing. In 2024, that feels incredibly limited. Therefore, the smart features are not smart. They are reminders of how far behind this unit has fallen. It's trying to be a bridge to your phone, but the bridge has tolls and occasional closures. Now the FM/AM tuner with RBDS. It works. It gets stations. The RBDS shows song info sometimes. It's fine. It's about as exciting as watching paint dry, but it works. I tested it in a city and it pulled in stations clearly. No complaints, but also no standing ovations. It's radio. What more can you say? It's like having a reliable pair of socks. You appreciate them, but you're not writing home about them. Let's synthesize all this. Is the Alpine UTE-73BT a bad product? Not inherently. The core sound quality is solid. The physical build is good. But is it a good buy for most people in 2024? I have serious doubts. You are paying a premium for the Alpine badge, but what you are getting is a platform that feels outdated on arrival. The user interface is dated, the Bluetooth is inconsistent, and the smartphone integration is a crapshoot unless you have a specific older iPhone. It's a unit that seems designed for a time when iPod was the height of mobile music. Therefore, who is this for? It might be a reasonable choice for someone with a very simple goal. Replace a broken stock radio with a known brand unit that has basic Bluetooth and USB, and who plans to add external amplifiers and processors anyway, thus bypassing the weak UI and using only its pre-out signals. For that specific user, the clean audio signals matter more than the interface. But for the vast majority looking for a modern, integrated, hassle-free upgrade, this unit is a compromise. What are the alternatives? At this price point, you are flirting with entry-level double-DIN units from brands like Sony, Kenwood, or JVC that offer Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Yes, you might need a different dash kit, but the leap in usability, interface, and seamless smartphone integration is astronomical. You go from managing your music on a tiny, clunky screen to having your phone's optimized, familiar interface safely on your dashboard. Therefore, unless your car absolutely cannot fit a double-DIN, I would urge you to look at those options. The Alpine feels like buying a very well-made flip phone in the age of smartphones. To wrap up, let's be clear. The Alpine UTE-73BT is not a terrible piece of gear, but it is a disappointingly stagnant one. Its high Amazon rating, I suspect, comes from loyal Alpine fans and installers comparing it to truly terrible stock systems. On its own merits in the modern market, it struggles. The problems with its aging interface, spotty connectivity, and awkward smartphone integration make it hard to recommend. You can do better for your money. If you want the simplicity and reliability of a single DIN from a trusted brand, it will work. But go in with your eyes open to its quirks and limitations. For a detailed spec list and the best current price on Amazon, check the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.